Hey guys, what is up? It is me, JMA Grenier, and today I wanted to do something that I've already done previously on my channel. I uploaded a poem that I've written just after I've gotten back from the Sundance, and if you want I can leave the link in the description below. And today I'm going to be doing something similar. This time it's going to be a short story that I have written a long while back when I realized that, hey, it is okay to say no. I gotta think about me for once. The tale that I'm gonna tell you is called I Knew a Girl Once. I knew a girl once. She was nice. Really nice. Perhaps a little too nice. Let me tell you a tale about her. She would do anything for anybody. She would ask for nothing in return. Expected nothing in return. One day, while on her way to see her family, she came across an elderly woman. She was sitting in front of a retirement complex. She gave a kind smile to the old lady sitting on the bench. She stopped and said, "Isn't it beautiful today? The sun is smiling, the birds are singing, and the leaves are dancing upon the breeze. Don't you think?" The elderly woman gave a gummy smile. "Yes, it is beautiful. But do you know what's more gorgeous than the sunniest day, the most colorful rainbow, and even the view of the ocean?" The young woman was confused. What could be more beautiful than all that, she wondered. What is it, ma'am?" she asked, now curious. The old woman looked up at the sky as the clouds passed by. The gummy smile seemed to be fixed on her face. "I know you will learn eventually, but you deserve to know now. Have a seat, sweetheart." The young woman was puzzled, but she wasn't necessarily in a hurry. So she did what she was told and took a seat beside the elder. "When I was your age, and don't worry, this won't be long, I was a nice and respected young woman. I had responsibilities, taking care of everyone and everything. I had a good heart. But then I noticed something odd." The young woman tilted her head slightly. "Huh?" "Even though I did my very best, I noticed that whenever I needed something, nobody was there for me. When I asked why they couldn't help me, they wouldn't say. They just simply said no." The girl frowned. That was sad. "What are you saying?" The old woman looked the young woman, eyes full of what looked like regret. "They used me. They were only friends with me because I can't say no. I figured this out the hard way. When I started saying no, I noticed that I was starting to lose friends." The young woman's heart plummeted into her stomach. "But overall, I am happy I started to say no because I began to know who my real friends and family were." The young woman's heart turned. How does this describe the most beautiful thing in the world? How is losing friends a good thing? How can she say no if people need her all the time? Why? How? If losing friends is a good thing, then how will you gain new ones? How do you know who is real or who is fake? The elder woman's eyes looked like they were glassy, like she was about to cry. "Whoever chooses to stay by your side. But sweetheart, you will know when the time comes. But do you know what the most beautiful things in this world are?" The young woman wasn't so sure anymore. But it will bother her if she doesn't know. But will it be good to know? Will it benefit her future? She decided yes, it will. "What is it?" The elderly woman smiled knowingly and simply said, "The kindest, most beautiful souls in the world. And you, my dear, have one. What does that make you?" The young woman was confused. "Beautiful?" "Yes, inside and out." The old woman smiled happily with her gummy smile. The young woman was still puzzled. She wasn't so sure about that. But it was time for her to go, isn't it? She looked at her watch and realized she was here longer than anticipated. Oh my, I must go. I'm sorry. Goodbye. She quickly gathered herself up and continued on her way, stopping only to turn to the old woman. That old woman is gone. Huh? What? But she was just right there. She looked around for a moment and observed the area. The complex was a long walk away, especially for an old woman her age. She shook her head, believing she may have finally lost it, and continued on her way. I wonder why that happened. It was really confusing. Suddenly her phone began to ring. She reached into her purse and looked at the number. It was her friend again. The one that's always asking for favors. She then wondered if it were a good idea to answer it. She decided it was, but mostly because she was curious as to what the problem was this time. She pressed the answer key and held it up to her ear. Hello, she said. Hey, I was wondering if I could have a favor, her friend asked. She wasn't so sure anymore, so she decided to test this one. This one time. This one time, she will say no. What is it? She asked. Doesn't hurt to be civil, right? Right? I was wondering if you could lend me $150. She frowned. Her friend still owed her from so many times before, even from bailing out of the drunk tank. Why? There was a silence on the other line. She wasn't going to have the reason, will she? Why? What do you mean, why? You would normally help me out with no questions asked. What happened to the good old you? Well, it's just... How is she going to put this? It's just what? She heard from the other line. It sounded like she was trying to get hostile. You never did pay me back from the other times, she said slowly. How? How could people live with themselves by saying things like that? Guilt started to rise in her chest. What a terrible feeling. Are you kidding me? Come on, I need that money. Her friend started to yell, seeming to be angry out that she wasn't getting what she needed. The young woman's heart tore at her chest. She couldn't do it. Maybe she should. You know what? I don't need you anymore if you are going to be greedy. F you and your master's degree. Then, there was silence on the other end. She felt her heart shatter into what feels like a million pieces. Why? How? Why did it have to happen like that? She was so mean because she said no. She dropped her phone and fell to her knees, scraping them in the process. No. I just wanted to know why she needed the money. I just wanted to know. Silent tears rolled down her now pale cheeks. How? How can anybody do such a thing? How? Why? She needed my help. And that's why I wanted you to know. There was a voice coming from... where exactly? She looked around, confused. She didn't know where the voice was coming from, but it sounded all oddly familiar. You know what? The voice of the old woman, she realized, came through again. You can't help everyone. Sometimes saying no is okay. It shows who your real friends are. The young woman was puzzled. Was that old woman... Nah, it couldn't be an angel. They don't exist. I don't think so, anyway. The young woman gathered herself up again and continued on her way. She may not hear from her friend again, but at least she knows who she really was. A fake friend. Limit how many times you say yes. It's okay. I didn't like to say no because I know a lot of people needed a hand with at least something. I actually had a friend who, she was just my friend for my money. Me and my other best friend, we realized this the hard way too. We lost hundreds of dollars because of her. And we lost what I assumed at the time was a friend, but I don't think she ever was a friend. So hopefully this story will help anyone who is trying to learn things for themselves, who is trying to understand why it's okay to say no. Nothing's wrong with saying no. Sometimes you gotta help your real OGs, your real friends, because those are the people who have stuck by your side the longest in your rough times, their rough times, and that's totally okay. Me and my best friend, we have been friends for the better part of 9 years, going to be 10 years in the new year, and I hope that we'll stay friends. Wife, if you're watching this, love you loads. I'll never forget our friendship. We always do our best to do whatever it is that we have to do for each other. I've learned through trial and error, and so has she, that she and I were basically kind of like what is called best friend soulmates. And that is what I find so precious. If it weren't for her, I don't know where I would be right now. If anything, and I'm pretty sure it is vice versa, but I don't want to go in there. I don't want to get in too deep because I don't want to cry because our friendship just means that much to me. So that's it for today, you guys. Hit that like and subscribe button for more of my content. Hopefully this video helps you guys out in any way possible. Stay safe, stay awesome. And remember to hand sanitize your hands before you go to plug anything on your keyboard. I don't know. I wanted to give you guys a solid piece of advice and then that came out, apparently.